25 years ago, a 21-year-old young girl was packing her bags and selling her most precious possession, that it was an electric guitar, to come to New York City. And I arrived here with $350 in my pocket. I always wanted to be an artist. My father was an artist, my mother was a teacher, and it was encouraging me to do whatever I wanted and to be creative. So I expressed myself for many, many different ways. And I started painting murals about 15 years ago. I painted boats, I painted buses, I painted different murals in different communities, and making art has given me the possibility of travel around the world and getting to meet all kinds of people. But one particular story changed my life. I went on a mission trip to Cambodia, and I painted with the people from Beauty for Freedom. We worked with girls that they're rescued from human trafficking, and we offer art classes, and we connect, and we spend 2 weeks with the girls, and we listen to the stories, we hear about all their struggles, and this particular trip really just enlightened me about the role that I had as an artist, and not only as an artist, but as a human being. When you travel, and when you make art, and you put art in the public scope, right? Because it's not the same to make a painting for your studio than make a painting that it will be seen by 10 people, 100 people, 10,000 people, right? So I worked with a lot of young girls, and we came up with this beautiful mural that really expressed the visions and the dreams and the beautiful hopes that they had for the future. Because these young girls, they just wanted to be girls, and they wanted to play, and they wanted to paint. And having many conversations, we came up with a lotus flower, this beautiful flower that was a symbol of Cambodian pride, a flower that is pink and gorgeous, and it comes from the mud, from something that it seems like empty and dirty, and just rises above the hardships. I also visit Michigan, right, in Flint, where a lot of people in the news ongoingly repeated said about how tragic the water, and of course it was a tragic thing, but people did not want it to be portrayed as something tragic. And the people from Flint Public Art Project, the first thing that they told me, please do not speak about the water. Please do not paint about the water. And the community leaders, they were telling me how many generations of their family live there, and how they love colors, and how they love their neighbors, and how they love to portray the vibrancy of all their stories. And with the kids, we painted high schools, we painted churches, and we had such a beautiful, beautiful human experience. Because when you go to paint a mural, you are not painting for yourself, you are painting for others. So art, I discovered, can be also a gift and an act of service to others. This is a mural that I painted in Little Haiti in Miami, where the ladies sat with me every single morning, and they made me food, and they talk about folk art and Haiti. And with so much sense of pride, they were curious to hear my story too, right? So you have all these beautiful moments of human interaction all the time when you're open, and you listen, and you ask the right questions. And I found out how were their beautiful favorite flowers, and some of them are portrayed in my mural. So I see my murals as a beautiful expression of togetherness and collaboration. When I visited the Apache Reservation in Arizona, I worked with a lot of other kids there also, and I also learned things that I didn't know after being in the United States 16 years. The sad state of the native reservations, when we don't really think what's happening there, right? And the urge for housing and the urge for hope and love that they're needing there. Some of the stories that really touched my heart the most of painting murals, this young man comes to me and tells me how he struggled with alcoholism all his life, and how his brother killed himself. But me being there and our team being there gave him hope that his stories still matter, and that people care about what's going on there, that we're all in the same family. We are all part of the human family. And those stories touch your heart. But in order to tell those stories, you must be open to listen to people and to receive hugs and lots of tacos if you go to Mexico. When I visit Mexico, I also learn about mythology and all the traditions and all the sense of pride for the murals and the culture that they have there. But in order to celebrate them, again, I sat down and I enjoyed myself. I had some margaritas, and I also painted with them. And hopefully, if you live in New York City, you have seen this mural that it was only 5 years in the making, because things in New York are just a little more complicated. And this mural I titled Soul Ancestors. It is on the wall of CDS School. CDS School is one of the first alternative high schools in New York City where Jean-Michel Basquiat went to high school. So for me, being an immigrant in New York City and having the opportunity to be part of history, right? This is amazing, this is great, I have this opportunity. And I volunteer with the school, I work with the kids, and being a mom of a teenager that struggled through school a lot, I took this personally. I wanted my art to be with, the kids that struggle, with the artists, with the creatives, that they couldn't find their space in the public high school. And after 4 years, I realized that this project was not my mural. It wasn't about me anymore. All the kids were advocating for me, the teachers, the community board meetings, all these wonderful things that we did together end up with this mural. And the beauty of this is that when you are really have a vision and you're open with others, others will support you in your dreams. And they will go with you because they know that the mural is not only about you, it's about them and giving them pride and to tell their stories too. And human beings, I learn as I travel around, they just want to be heard. They want to be loved, they want to be understood, they want dignity for their families, they want a good school to take their kids. I don't care if you live in Cambodia, in China, in Argentina, we all want to be heard. So when I paint in my studio, I always remind myself who I was when I was a little girl. What were my dreams then? Why did I start doing this? Who I want to be for that little girl. And I really think about my aspirations and the thankfulness I have for the gifts that God gave me. And I want to share always that with others. Because if people can recognize the gift that you have, they will also recognize the gift that they have themselves. Because when we all embrace each other and we recognize each other's gift, we can be a light and a reflection for a most beautiful, loving world. So please go out in the world, be bold, be brave, be very vulnerable, but most importantly, learn to listen with your ears of your heart.